tell us a little bit about yourself, Nicole, and how you got started at Alteryx.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Nicole Johnson. I'm a senior business solutions consultant at T-Mobile in Seattle, Washington area. And I'm kind of what you would call your atypical data analyst. I definitely didn't start out on that particular track. I have a degree in accounting and finance from University of Washington, and I worked in construction for 12 years. So I sort of stumbled into data analytics by accident. Accounting does have a lot of data and a lot of problems to solve, and so I started to explore the world of data with VBA and SQL, and then came across Alteryx about 4 years ago. And so for me, that really opened up a bunch of doors for me as far as being able to do things that I hadn't been able to do before. And I really just kind of fell in love with the product and what I was able to do with it, and what I've experienced the last 4 years professionally and personally. I mean, it's unparalleled.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So coming from a finance background, I think it's really helpful. And to all the people, all the accountants out there, you can do this, guys. Yes, I come from the same background, and I think a lot of it is to do with the analytical thinking, and the tool is very powerful, easy enough to pick up.
Yes.
So tell us about some of the interesting use cases that you've applied Alteryx to, people that that come across that product suite.
Yeah, sure. So a little bit of background on the team I'm working on now. We started out trying to create a bit of an Alteryx revolution in the accounting department, and it's definitely a place that's rife with really tedious manual processes, and a lot of people kind of stuck in Excel hell. And so what we are kind of doing is going around to these different groups and helping them identify processes that could use some automation. And a lot of that is things like reconciliations, working with a lot of detailed data, trying to get down to an aggregate level where you can book a journal entry. So it's really a lot of kind of ETL processes, but there's definitely some other challenges as well. A lot of times you're looking for information from other departments. You're having to ask somebody else to get you the data that you need in order to be able to do the summary that you need to make, for your journal entry. So it's opened up a lot of doors in being able to give accountants the skill set to take data from different sources and blend it together, as well as giving them kind of the power to go get that data themselves. And so that's resulted in some pretty great improvements being made just from a reconciliation and monthly reporting aspect. And then we've also had some pretty cool use cases working with financial data that needs to be reported to other entities. So I work in the external reporting department, and we report both US GAAP standards as well as IFRS international standards. And so I was involved in a really big project to put together basically a framework that takes our US GAAP data and runs it through a series of rules and checks and balances to make sure that it is accurate for our international reporting. And that was a pretty fun one. And then with new accounting standards, going into place periodically, I've worked on 2 projects now where, you're taking data from some legacy system and having to then figure out how to calculate and report on it differently because of these new accounting standards. And so tons of use cases, and it's nice to have another tool in your toolkit where it's not just Excel, it's not just Access, and you're not having to go ask somebody in IT or one of the traditional BI teams to do it for you. It's giving power to the accountants to do a lot of that work themselves.
So you find yourself much more aligned as a line of business analyst to cover end-to-end, from meeting some execs, getting the business rules, actually having the data all the way through.
Yeah,
so I guess now that you've conquered the world of accounting and finance at T-Mobile, what's next for you? What excites you?
Yeah, so I definitely have had a really great experience so far working with a lot of the main ETL basic tenets of the Alteryx platform. But what I'm starting to look at now is, what do I want my next project to be? What do I want to learn about next? And there's so many different avenues I could go with that. But I think I might start out just kind of taking a look into more of the predictive side of things. There's some really good programs out there that will give me that good foundational layer of understanding. And then I know with the tools in Alteryx, that's just going to be easy to apply those concepts. So I figured I might take a look at that. But what I really like doing so far at T-Mobile is just helping enable people to use the software, both in accounting, and it's actually started to kind of trickle out to other groups as well. And so for me, it's just great to be able to talk about what I've been able to do with it, and talk about the capabilities, even if I don't know how to do it yet. I can still talk about, oh, it does this cool thing, and you'll figure it out.
To summarize, you've gone from the accountant to the data scientist. The
future, yes. Yes, a circular way to get there, but it did. Yes, it's definitely revolutionized where I thought I would be from just 4 years ago.
Great. Thank you for your time, Nicole.
Absolutely. It's so great.
Have a good one.
Thank you.